Well, hello guys, and welcome back to Mr. G Physics, the channel that can help you to improve your marks in physical sciences from grade 8 to grade 12. I'm Mr. G, and this time we're going to be doing some questions related to molecules, and this is for the grade 8. However, it's also applicable for the grade 9. This time we're going to be building some molecules according to these questions that we have on the right hand side. Here we have a list of molecules we have to build using atoms, and we have a whole amount of atoms on this point at the bottom here. So the first one is water. You can see here is a molecule. There is a molecular formula. This is a formula that we use to represent compounds or molecules. Okay, so the first one is water, and you can see from these formulas that you have 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen atom in this specific compound. So we're going to have 1 oxygen. We take it here. If you are doing it on the book, you have to draw a circle with the O, which represent an atom of oxygen. Now, how to place the atoms of hydrogen there? It's not in any shape, rather is in this specific angular shape. So now here we have the molecule of water. We carry on here to action, and that is correct. There is the answer. If we look carefully here, this is how the molecule of water look. Now remember, there are forces that keep those atoms together in that specific molecule there. If we represent the atoms, this is more or less how the molecule of water will look like. Let's go to the next one, and we have oxygen molecule. Now oxygen molecule, guys, is a gas. It's oxygen gas in actual fact. So in this case, you can see the formulas here is O2. It means you have 2 atoms of oxygen. They are the same elements, therefore, or atoms of the same kind. Therefore, this is called a diatomic molecule. We place it there, and then we can see now here how does the molecule look like. If we look carefully here, we can see the 2 forces that keep this molecule together. In this case, we have a double bond. The molecules look like this, but if we represent the bonds, there it is. I want you to notice in the previous one you have only 1 bond that keep the hydrogen attached to the oxygen. However, in oxygen you have 2 bonds that keep the 2 atoms together, as you can see there. Let's go to the next one, and it's hydrogen. In this case, we have 2 hydrogen, is H2, so it's 2 atoms of hydrogen together. This is a molecule of hydrogen, and once more it's a diatomic molecule. Guys, you can do this one in your book with circles, circle with the H in. So this one is the atoms of hydrogen, and if we look in a 3D version, we can see how they look. You have now a single bond between the 2 atoms. There is 1 force that keeps those atoms together, and here is how will they look like. There is the atoms of the molecule of hydrogen, which is 2 atoms of hydrogen. There you can see the molecule. Okay, let's go to the next one, and we're going to carbon dioxide. You know, it's a gas, and if you look at the molecular formula, this formula here, you can see or notice that there is 1 carbon and 2 oxygen. So let's look for our atoms here. We have 1 carbon here, we have 2 oxygen. Now this also have a specific shape. This must be in a straight line. That is the correct shape of carbon dioxide, with carbon in the middle, as you can see it here, and then the 2 oxygen on the streams. Let's take it here. Well, and if we come here now, we look in 3D how the carbon dioxide look like. Now, something interesting is about the bonding. You can see that you have carbon in the center part of the molecule, and there is 2 double bonds between the carbon and the oxygen, and there's another double bond between carbon and oxygen. So there are 2 double bonds here that keep the oxygen attached to the carbon in the center. So this is how carbon dioxide gas look like. Let's go to nitrogen, and then when we do nitrogen, you have 2 atoms of nitrogen together. Now something interesting here. Let's take it here first. Well, now here you can see that we can finish this first collection of this first exercise, but let's go about nitrogen. I want to show you something interesting. You can see that nitrogen have a triple bond. So there are three forces or three bonds that keep those two atoms together. If we go all the way back and we start with hydrogen, you can see that there was a single bond. If you go to oxygen, you see that there were a double bond that keep those atoms together. And when we go to nitrogen, then we have now triple bond. So there are three types of bonding that can keep atoms together: single, double, and triple. This is the molecule of nitrogen, and this is with the bonding. So the first part of the exercise is done, and therefore we can go to the next one. Now here we have other compounds, starting with ammonia. Ammonia is a very important compound you are going to learn eventually in other grades. But this ammonia have, you can see the molecular formula, 1 nitrogen and then 3 hydrogens. So we're going to place this hydrogen in this specific way, and then we taking this one to this side here. Now here, if we go to the 3D drawing, we can see how the ammonia molecule look like you have in the center part, you have the nitrogen and 3 hydrogen in that specific way. This is the shape of this molecule. It's quite tricky. We are going to learn about shapes in grade 11 if you continue doing physics, which I actually hope you do physics further on. This is how the molecule, you can see the shape, it looks like a pyramid, and that is how the molecule look like. This one is ammonia, guys. Is a very important compound. The next one is phosphine, and then phosphine we have 1 phosphorus. I think I saw phosphorus here, 1 phosphorus and 3 hydrogen, and this one is going to be phosphine. This one is the way in which phosphine look like, and if we go to the place, we take it here, guys, then we can see that this is the shape. It looks like the one of ammonia. You can see that they can form like a pyramid somehow. If you organize it here, we can form like a pyramid some way there. And here is how it looks like this specific molecule. There is with the bond. So all the time so far we have now single bond between atoms. Let's go to the next one. This is ethylene, and this is an important compound you are going to be doing also in grade 12. One day you will be there doing physics or chemistry and you will do it. We have 2 carbons here and we have 4 hydrogens. So it means the first carbon will take 2 hydrogen and the second carbon will take another 2 hydrogen. This one is ethylene. We'll take it here, and then we can look at the 3D. So this is how ethylene look like. This one's quite interesting. It's an organic compound you're going to learn in grade 12. As I said, you can see that the 2 carbons, which are these 2 atoms in the center, are connected to each other with a double bond. Alright, and each carbon have a single bond with hydrogen. This is how the molecule of ethylene look like. We can also call it ethene, and then here is how the molecule look like. They're very funny molecules here. So now the next compound is hydrogen peroxide. In this case, if you look carefully at the molecular formula, you have 2 hydrogen and 2 oxygen. So we're looking for oxygen and we're looking for hydrogen. This one is phosphorus, so it's not there. There is oxygen and hydrogen. So we have now 2 oxygen and we have 2 hydrogen. This one is going to be in this specific way, and I also want you to notice the bonding as well as the shape in a 3D version. So in a 3D version, as we say, then we have this one is hydrogen peroxide. They look quite funny. You can see actually the shape is quite weird, and we notice here that 1 oxygen is bonded single bond to the other oxygen, and then there's a space for 1 hydrogen as well as the other hydrogen. There's quite interesting facts about this specific compound we're going to learn eventually. Alright, and then the last one, guys, is oxygen molecule, but we already done it, so we are done and dusted. I hope it helped. I hope you understand it is very important for grade 8, grade 9, and even for grade 10 and 11. Look at the shape, focus on those specific shapes. If you didn't subscribe, don't miss up, subscribe right now so you can get all the videos and notification I post on regular basis. I'll see you next time. Mr. G here.